Well, first of all, I want to thank Marcia for inviting me to come down to this festival. I feel very special being amongst all of you from the foreign place known as New Jersey. I actually live in the northwest corner. There's a pond in my backyard. It's very beautiful and green there, so if you've ever flown into Newark Airport and never went anyplace else, you've missed some of the best parts. There's a county park maybe 5 minutes from my house, and you can hike to the top of that park, top of the mountain there, and you can see the skyline of New York City. And yet, I'm amongst all that green and all those bears and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to play just a few short variety of pieces. A little bit different than what other folks have been doing here tonight, but it's all about the music. So I'm going to start out with two Americana pieces. One of them is Simple Gifts, and then I'll go right into Arkansas Traveler. Does that sound coming out all right? Trip across the big pond to the Isle of Man, where I've had the privilege of visiting to do research and collect tunes a couple of times. And I'm going to play a little jig. Lots of great music has come from the Isle of Man, but most of it has never been heard. And I'm real thrilled to be able to share all of that great music with my American friends. I'm happy to report that since I wrote my first book back in 2009, every state in the country, including Alaska, is now playing tailless tunes, music from the Isle of Man. And it's gone to Australia and Belgium and other places. And the Isle of Man itself now has 5 mountain dulcimers on it. Wow. This is a song called Alas, the Horse is Gone. And at the end you can hear him galloping off into the Manx sunset. And I promised in 2 of those workshops I was going to tell the rest of the story, both in my hymn workshop and in my finger-picking workshop. Exactly 20 years ago, I was in Berea, Kentucky, and purchased my very first mountain dulcimer from Warren May's shop. Happened to be down there on a vacation with a girlfriend, and she was a great lady. Somehow, when you get out with the girlfriends away from the husbands, life is different. She says, "Carol, if you want one of those dulcimers, just buy the thing. Don't tell him." And so I did, and I didn't, and well, anyway, I'm here, he's not. So I had no idea how to play this thing, you know. Here I am, educated with lots and lots of music. I've been teaching choir my whole life and playing the piano for 100 years, it feels like. And I took this mountain dulcimer home and I thought, what do I do with this? I kept trying to make it so complicated. Well, I discovered there was a dulcimer festival in northwestern Connecticut about a month after I bought the dulcimer. And I thought, I'm going to be there. I had no idea what to expect. It was only about maybe 2 hours from where I lived. And so I packed up my little dulcimer and I got myself a hotel room and I walked into this church on the green in a beautiful, beautiful town. I think the town is called Milford. And I sat in the front row of the church that night because each of the featured performers were going to be giving just a little snippet of what was to come. I had never seen a dulcimer really being played before. So one of the guys that got up there and played, and he's gone like crazy, and I'm just sitting there saying, wow, I'll never be able to do that. He held it kind of like this, and he's just playing the heck out of that thing. Wow. And I thought, oh, well, that's it. I might as well just go home because I'm never going to be able to do that. And then he put the pick down, and he started to play with his fingers. And by the time he got about 4 measures into that piece, I was crying because it was so beautiful. Wow, I didn't know a dulcimer could sound like that. That was 20 years ago. And I want you to know that if I had not met that gentleman that night, I'm sure I would not be here tonight. Steve. I have been telling this story on the stage and in workshops for the past 10 years or so. It's the first time I've ever been able to tell it to him.
That night you cried for hours.
I did, and it's all your fault. He played a beautiful hymn, and it took me a while to get to the point where I even thought maybe I could try to play something similar. I don't even remember exactly how he played it, but this is how I remembered it all these years later. So here's Sweet Hour of Prayer, as inspired by Mr. Sievert. And it's okay if you're crying. So if this is your first festival, I hope something meaningful is occurring for you in this weekend. Because literally, 20 years ago, 1999, I will never forget it. Or you. Thank you. Finishing up with a classical piece. No? Let me start that again. I'm all a quitter. This is from a book I've just finished called Classical Dulcimer for Wascally Wabbits. And I think J.S. Bach was probably the wascaliest of all.
Inspiration there for playing, figuring out what we want to do next. Okay, so speaking of wanting to do next, tomorrow we have another concert set, and we have Nancy Gallenbush and Jeff Furman, Ken Bloom, and Don Petty, joined by some friends and stuff, and some of the folks that are playing, and I'll be playing tomorrow night as well. So jams tonight. We have a slow jam, and Nancy and Carol will be doing the slow jam, and that will be in the conference room. And easy jam will be Don and Ken. They're going to take it nice and easy on the second floor. But I believe that. They can do that. And up-tempo with Steve and Jeff be up-tempo, so that'll be good. That's on the third floor. So be sure to go for at least a little while. We're getting a little earlier start tonight on the jams. They may not go quite as long. The instructors can go as long as they wish, but we ask them to do about an hour. So if they want to stay, that's fine. If they want to go ahead and get ready for tomorrow and get some shut-eye, as well as if you want to, you'll be able to do that as well. So I think that is it with the jams and the concert. All right. Tomorrow morning here, 9 o'clock, for the presentation by Roddy Moore. Yes. The vendor area open, it's during that break time. If they have time before classes, there is a little bit of time in there. It's kind of hard to catch it. Some of them have an honor box, and you're welcome to go ahead and put your money in the honor box or check. The hours for the Dulcimer doctor are posted. So if you want to know when he's going to be over there, just check that. When you come over in the morning, for example, tomorrow or tonight, check and see what times he's going to be there if you have work to be done. All right. Any other questions?
Marsha, I'll be over in my vending area right before the jams start, if
Okay, Joe said he would be over in the vending area before the jam starts, so he's heading over there. He'll be over there. Because jams, I think we're supposed to start at 8:45, is that right? I don't have my piece of paper. Well, we may start early. What time is it now? 8:50, 9 o'clock? Okay, let's start the jams at 9:30. And that way we can get, by 10:30.
So there's some time for the vending area.
Yes. Yeah, be short. So, we'll start the jams at 9:30, more or less, All right, see you over there. Catch you later.